Okay. So we are doing the course 4 grammar with page 14 pointer A. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are on the grammar, and last time we have learned about the lam, and plus the mudare, which was taking away the noon, and it was giving the jazm to the last part of the verb. So, lam plus mudare, we have done it for the sound letter verbs. Today we'll be seeing the more weak verbs in that, right? Just for a revision of basic revision of what we have done in the verbs till now is we did fataha, nasara, daraba, sami'a. If you open the Quran, Allah will help you. Otherwise, you will be hit. Daraba, therefore listen, sami'a. Allah will give promise, wahaba. It is Allah will give wahaba. It is a promise, wa'ada. In fact, he said, Allah, he will give more, zada. Therefore, pray to him, da'a, for guidance, hada, and have good opinion with him, dhanna. Otherwise, you'll be lost, walla. Right? Then we saw the hamzated ones, amara, sa'ala, and qara'a. Now, last time on we saw that yaf'alu after the lam becomes yaf'al, lam yaf'al. Yaf'aluna becomes lam yaf'alu, taf'alu becomes lam taf'al, af'alu becomes lam af'al, taf'aluna becomes lam taf'alu, naf'alu becomes lam naf'al, and taf'alu becomes lam taf'al. Right? So the sukun on the last, and wherever there is a noon, then that noon is dropped. Okay. So inshallah we will see the dual part also of that. So chopper words are very scary to weak letters, and we saw that the weak letters just run away as shown below. So we had seen the example of qala yaqulu, and yaqulu with the lam becomes lam yaqulu, means he did not say. Yaquluna becomes lam yaqulu, taqulu becomes lam taqul, and aqulu becomes lam aqul, taquluna becomes lam taqulu, naqulu becomes lam naqul, and taqulu becomes lam taqul. The sukun on the last part. So in this lesson we learn lam plus the mudare of mazid fi, there is a allama, aslama, and all that, and also weak words along with it. So the sound verbs with an addition are allama, hasaba, aslama, ikhtalafa, and istaghfara. And in that we had also seen the weak words, and the weak verbs with this pattern were walla, on hasaba was nada, aslama was aqama, alqa, and adalla. Ikhtalafa, we had ittaqa and ihtada, right? And istaghfara also. So let us take the first pattern of the mazid fihi. Alima becomes allama, yu'allimu, allim, mu'allim, mu'allam, and ta'lim. Now when a lam is added to it, the only effect it has is on the present tense. That's yu'allimu will become yu'allam. So yu'allimu will become lam yu'allam. Okay. Alima means to teach, and lam yu'allam means he did not teach. Yu'allimuna, they all are teaching or will teach. Lam yu'allimu, they did not teach. Tu'allim, you did not teach. Lam tu'allim, you did not teach. U'allim, u'allimu, I teach. Lam u'allim, I do not teach. Tu'allimuna, you all teach. Lam tu'allimu, you all did not teach. Nu'allimu, we teach. Lam nu'allimu, we did not teach. Tu'allim for feminine, lam tu'allim, she did not teach. So the same thing, there's no difference as such. Whatever we have seen in the sound verbs, it is the same. There's no addition or subtraction, just that the last part of the dhamma of the verb becomes a sukun with the lam. That's why it's called a chopper, because it is chopping off that dhamma and giving it a sukun, half, and also the noon is being chopped off. Okay. So let us take spoken example and assume that we are talking about teaching bad habits. So alam yu'allim, did you teach? Did you not teach? So lam yu'allim, no, he did not teach. Right. So let us take it in the spoken way. Alam yu'allim,
لم يعلم.
Lam yu'allim. Right. So the question is about bad habits. So did he not teach bad habits? Lam yu'allim. No, he did not teach bad habits. Alam yu'allimu.
لم يعلموا.
MashaAllah. So this is the third person, which the words are going to remain same. They're going to change for the first and the second person, right? Because the question is going to be to the second person, and the person who's answering will answer in the first person. So alam tu'allim.
لم أعلم.
MashaAllah. Alam tu'allimu.
لم نعلم.
Okay. So this is the second person and first person. The words are going to change. Third person is going to remain the same. Now let us take the mazid fi words on the pattern of aslama. So aslama, yuslimu, aslim, muslim, muslim, and islam. When lam is going to be added, it is going to be added only to the present tense, that is yuslimu. Yuslimu will become yuslim. Okay. So yuslimu and lam added to it becomes lam yuslim. He did not submit. Yuslimuna, lam yuslimu, they all did not submit. Tuslimu, you did not you submitted. Lam tuslimu, you did not submit. Uslimu, I submit, or I will submit. Lam uslimu, I did not submit. Tuslimu and lam tuslimu, you all did not submit. Nuslimu, lam nuslimu, we did not submit. And tuslimu is the feminine, she did not submit. Lam tuslimu. Right? So the example from the Quran will take أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. So أنذر ينذر and أسلم يسلم becomes lam tunzirhum. Lam tunzir, that the sukoon is coming here. I'll just take the highlighter. Okay, so this lam is causing the tunziruhum to become tunzirhum. Lam tunzirhum, right? But it is same for them whether you warn them or you do not warn them. So anzartahum. So this ra is because of the ta. Anzarta, anzartu, anzartum. So is question. Anzartum, whether you warn them. Lam tunzirhum, or you do not warn them. Right? Lam tunzir. La yu'minun, they are not going to believe. Okay, so this is the example from Surah Baqarah only. So mazid fi for the weak verbs. Now we know that weak verbs are very afraid of the chopper and then they just disappear. So we will see the example of arada, which is again on the pattern of aslama yuslimu, but we have an extra ya in the center. So arada yuridu. So arada means he wanted, he intended, he willed, he wished. Irada kiya. So arada yuridu, arid, muridun, muradun, whatever thing that is wished. Irada is the wish, basically. So when lam is added to the present tense of yuridu, it becomes yurid. But the ya is chopped off also, right? So this is the difference in the weak letter. When lam is being added to it, the ya of it is disappearing, right? So the chopper is very scary, and that's why this ya yuridu becomes yurid with the ya being dropped and the kasra remaining there. So this ya is dropped because of the chopping effect. This is why we are seeing this separately, right? So it is not exactly yurid. It will be difficult to pronounce that. So yurid, right? The dal will have a kalkala because this is a kalkala word. Lam yurid. So yuridu, lam yurid. Yuriduna, lam yuridu. Turidu, lam turid. Uridu, lam urid. So this is again the tajweed, why it is important. Turiduna, lam turidu. Nuridu, lam nurid. Turidu, lam turid. So this is the only, I would say, complex part today, but rest of all is whatever we have done is revision only. So that this year is dropped. This is the only real learning point for today's class. that yurid, which is on aslama, becomes lam yurid, that ya is dropped, right? But everything else is, I think, just a revision of what we have done before. Just this one fact, if you remember, inshallah, today's class will be done. There's nothing new as such in today's class of the grammar. Okay, so lam yurid is he did not want, lam yuridu, they did not want, lam turid, you did not want, lam urid, I did not want, lam turidu, you all did not want, lam nurid, we did not want, lam turid, she did not want. We'll have some spoken Arabic. So alam yurid, did he not wish?
Lam yurid.
No, he did not wish. Alam yuridu, did they all not wish?
Lam yuridu.
Alam turid, did you not wish?
Lam urid.
Alam turidu.
Lam nurid.
So did you all not wish? Lam nurid. No, we all did not wish. So just the learning point is that it is not yurid, it becomes yurid here, right? Because lam is there, it becomes yurid. So lam yuridillahu an yutahhira qulubahum. Allah Ta'ala does not intend to purify their hearts because of their kufr, because of their zulm, right? So it is Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala only who is the one who purifies the hearts, who is the one who makes our belief right. And that's why there is a dua also to this effect, that Ya Muqallib al-Qulub, O the turner of the hearts, Qallib qalbi ala dinik, turn are my hearts towards your deen, right? So here Allah Ta'ala is talking about the disbelievers or the kuffar, where Allah Ta'ala is saying that Allah himself did not want or intend to purify them, and that's why they are not purified. So this has another lesson for us, that if we are doing something good, if Allah Ta'ala has kept us close to the Quran, it means that Allah Ta'ala loves us, and that is the reason we are close to the Quran. So one sign of love for Allah is that we are into what we are doing, and if we are into the learning of his book, then that is a blessing from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala himself, and we should be thankful to him for this blessing also. The worldly blessings are going to come and go. The worldly blessing is something that Allah Ta'ala gives to a lot of people, and that doesn't indicate the love of Allah or that Allah loves you. The fact that if you are closer to the Quran, that is an indicator of the love for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So the last two lessons we have seen that yaf'aluna becomes lam yaf'alu, taf'aluna becomes lam taf'alu. So the noon is dropped in these two situations. We had not taken the dual forms. So yaf'alu becomes yaf'alani, and with that the chopper, the noon is dropped here as well. So yaf'alani becomes yaf'ala, taf'alani becomes lam taf'ala, taf'alina, which is the feminine form, second person's feminine form, taf'alina becomes lam taf'ali, right? So this is the noon is dropped, but it will sound and looks completely different because the ya comes back again in the complete form. So taf'alina becomes lam taf'ali. All anis will be dropped and it will become a with the alif, right? So tabbat yadani. Sorry, there is not lam there. We'll take another part where there is a lam. The chopper words drops the noon in these 5 verbs, and such verbs are called as the af'al khamsa. Af'al khamsa means these are the 5 verbs which the noon is dropped because of the effect of the chopper, right? That is lam. So they are classified in this way for us to remember the above change. Note that the 5 verbs are yaf'alani becomes yaf'ala, yaf'aluna becomes yaf'alu, taf'alani becomes taf'ala, and taf'aluna becomes taf'alu, and taf'alina becomes taf'ali, right? So additional examples of this af'al al-khamsa are yaqulani becomes yaqula, yaquluna will become lam yaqulu, taqulani becomes lam taqula, taquluna will become lam taqulu, taqulina will become lam taquli, right? And kazzaba is yukadzibu, yukadzibuna, yukadzibani will become yukadziba, yukadzibuna will become yukadzibu, tukadzibani will become tukadziba, tukadzibuna will become tukadzibu, and tukadzibina will become tukadzibi. Note that the noon in the 5 verbs is affected by hammer words too. We will study them later. So this is another kind of words which will have some other change. It will cause a jazm or a fatha that will come to later. That is, those are called hammer words. Lam presently we are learning, and the noon is dropped, and the other words will also drop the noon. And that is why this af'al al-khamsa are important for us to remember. It is very simple, the dual and the plural, which is having noon, and the feminine form, which is having noon, will be dropped. Right, so that is the grammar for today. So if we want, we can practice these words a little bit so that you can remember it better. So I think this is not difficult. So we'll just take the arada yuridu and yuridu and lam yuridu. Okay. So what I will do is I will say the present tense word, and then you all you can unmute your mics and you can say the addition of the lam with it. Okay. Yuridu.
Lam
Lam
yurid.
Lam yurid.
MashaAllah. Yuriduna.
Lam yuridu.
Lam
Lam
yuridu.
yuridu.
Turidu.
Lam turid.
Lam turid.
MashaAllah. Uridu.
Lam
Lam
urid.
Lam
urid.
urid.
Turiduna.
Lam
Lam
turid.
Lam
turidu.
turidu.
Nuridu.
Lam nurid.
Lam
Lam
nurid.
nurid.
Lam nurid. Turidu.
Lam
Lam
turid.
turid.
Lam
Lam
turid.
turid. Right. So mashallah, just practice this. Also, whatever tilawat you're doing, whichever para you are at, you try to search for this lam and then just see the word after that, and then try to see if that noon is dropped or there is a jazm there, so that this thing will get confirmed. Only when you apply knowledge, your knowledge gives power. Otherwise, your knowledge will be gone. Right. So knowledge is not power unless it is multiplied by
Lam
action.
yalid wa lam yulad.
Yes, that we have seen last time. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. But whatever tilawat that you're doing now, whatever paras you're doing, in that, whenever the word lam comes, just be stop there for a second and just see what is the verb and just look for that sukun. So when you're applying the knowledge, then it is going to become easy for you, and then you will not forget it also, right? And also when you're memorizing it, you will not be confused that what is going to come, whether it is yuridu or whether what word is going to come after lam. So you know that it is lam is going to be followed by a sukun, right? So whatever you have memorized, also you can just go through that and try to find that, and then that will get confirmed about this grammar part will also get confirmed, and it will be easier for you to memorize also, inshallah. Okay, so this we have seen. So any questions regarding this?
The one ayat says in Surah Allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam.
Yes. Ma lam ya'lam. Ya'lamu becomes ya'lam. Okay. Very good. So such ayat, so you can just try and see whatever you remember, try and get out the lam and then see what that lam is followed by. So lam yaqul lahu kufuwan ahad, right? Yaqulu, lam yaqul. So there we know that in the qul, that waw is developed, waw is dropped. Okay. In qala yaqulu lam yaqul. This we had seen last time, no? Lam yaqul lahu kufuwan ahad. Go back to see. Lam yaqul. Right? So all the grammar is coming right from the Quran itself, and we can learn it, and that's how we are learning the grammar. Lot of surahs we already know. So once we know some surah, and then we just know the application of it, and we know the grammatical rule. If you forget also, if you remember that ayat again, then you will remember. Okay, lam is going to be followed by sukun. Lam yaqul lahu. Right? That way. So that is the easier way of remembering grammar. And that is how this course is designed in a way so that it becomes easy. Otherwise, if you learn these grammatical concepts separately, it becomes very difficult, or you would forget it. And when you have to apply it, it becomes even more difficult. So here we are just taking the same examples of what you are doing or reading daily, and that is how it becomes easier. Right? Any other comments on the grammar, or any questions or doubts on the grammar? Right, so we are almost at half Ramadan now, or another 5 days to go before the last Ashra, and the last Ashra is the most important Ashra. And in that we have been commanded to search for the Laylatul Qadr, and that is when the Quran was revealed. So and that is khayrun min alfi shahr. It is better than 1,000 months. So ibadat of that one night is a very powerful ibadah, and that is what we can send forward. And we know that the Prophet ﷺ, when the Sahabis told them that the people before us had so many years on their lives and they have earned so much of sawab, and then the Prophet ﷺ, and from the mercy of Allah gave us this Laylatul Qadr, in which that ibadah of that one night is equivalent to 1,000 months of ibadah, right? So one second in that, so you try and do all most of the good deeds in that, so those good deeds will multiply by 1,000 times, whether it is your tilawa, whether it is your sadaqah, or whether any other good deeds, being good to your family, being good to your neighbors, being good to your parents, being good to your relatives around, and the relatives who have maybe had not good relations with you, try to be good to them, try to talk to them, try to give them some gifts, try to, so if you are going to do all these any of the activities that you are going to do in these last 10 days and nights, and if that night turns out to be the Laylatul Qadr, it will be multiplied by 1,000 times. So what you can do is try to plan your good deeds in those days specifically, so that they are amplified many times, right? And if it is convenient for you all, you try and do etikaf. So if you're doing the etikaf, you are 100% sure that you have got the night, because we have been ordered to search for the night. Right, any other questions or comments?
At the end of the salah, we are doing salah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi.
Yeah.
This why it is plural.
Okay, so you can tell me some reason why it is kum.
For two angels on our shoulders.
Yes, yes.
Kiraman Katibin.
Correct, absolutely right. Also, when we enter the houses, and even if there is nobody in the houses, we are still commanded to do salam, right? And there also we say assalamu alaikum. Or even when we are doing salam to a single person, we don't say assalamu alaika, we say assalamu alaikum. Two things in that: one is it is out of respect, and second is that the angels are present and we are giving salam to them as well.
Correct.
Right, so now when you're having that intention, then inshallah you can give salam to the angels also, and in fact their salam, you will also get their salam back, inshallah.
But this is only out of respect, because angels are two only, no? It will be kuma.
Yeah, yes, but there are a lot of, and when you are praying in Jama, you have so many people along with you, so you're giving peace to all of them also, no? Right, also in the tayyat,
angels of all.
Yes, angels
The crowd.
Angels of all, and all people also, you're giving salam to all people. So when you are in the masjid, and when you are giving peace, you are making the dua of peace for all of the people who are present in the masjid.
But our gaze should be limited to our own shoulder, no?
Yeah, the gaze can be limited, but the duas is for everybody.
Correct. These odd days of the Shab-e Qadr.
Yeah.
But I think it's better to observe all, no?
Yeah, so if you are considering the whole last ashra is very important, then you are sure that you're not going to miss it, right? Also, the moon sighting and all that, there are sometimes issues with that.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, this year there were no issues. But if you are considering the last 10 days, then you will not be unsure that you have not got it, and inshallah you will definitely get it. Because otherwise you might. So if you're doing etikaf, then you are definitely going to get it. So I would recommend that whoever it is possible, just do etikaf, and that would ensure that you're getting that night. Otherwise, whatever is easy for you, Allah Ta'ala doesn't want to burden you with anything. So just try to do whatever is easy for you and as much as is possible for you. And Allah doesn't want or doesn't like that burdened worship. So whenever you're worshipping, enjoy your worship, and that is what it is if you are feeling that it's a burden, then just take it easy. Don't burden yourself with ibadah. You should enjoy your ibadah. It should be out of love of Allah that you're doing it. So if you're not enjoying it, doing something, it will not be from the heart. And that is not what Allah Ta'ala wants. Allah Ta'ala wants you to be attached with Him with your hearts. There is a simple, straightforward one thing in Salah also. And we've discussed this very much in detail in the first book, that one thing Allah Ta'ala wants from in the Salah is zikr. And zikr means reminding Allah or remembering Allah. So in Surah Taha is there, Aqimis Salat li dhikri. Allah Ta'ala is telling Musa alayhi salam that establish prayer for my remembrance. So we should remember Allah, not just by the lips, from the heart. Right? So if we say, tell somebody ki mujhe yaad rakhna, so dil mein bhi yaad rakhna. So it is in the hearts. The hearts are attached. So emotionally we should be attached to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That love should be felt. So when you're doing ibadah, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that his sukoon or his peace was in salah, right? Because he used to enjoy it, right? So we should also be enjoying our salah, and that indicates the real love. And that is with that love and with that wanting, if you are increasing your nafli ibadah, that is what is wanted. We try to make numbers and try to increase, thinking that we have to do it. No, it should be just out of love that you're doing more and more nafli ibadat, and that is what is the real closeness of Allah. And as there is a hadith, and there's a hadith Qudsi that says that the slave of Allah comes closer to Allah with the nafil that he does, and the nafil that he does is out of that love that he will do that nafil, and with that Allah Ta'ala would be closer to this slave, so much so that his sight becomes Allah's sight, and his speech becomes Allah's speech, and his hearing becomes Allah's hearing, which means that he will do only good with whatever he's doing, right? So that is what is meant when it is saying his sight will become Allah's sight, or his actions will become Allah's actions. Is that what Allah loves to do for a slave? So let us make dua that Allah Ta'ala make us out of his slaves, so much so that we, Allah Ta'ala, on the day of Qiyamah will say, Ya ibadi, oh my slaves, udkhul al-jannah, right? Enter Jannah. So we have that in Surah Al-Fajr, where Allah Ta'ala says, my slaves enter Jannah. But we have to become his slaves. That is the question, and that is the requirement.
एतिकाफ का मतलब क्या होता है? झुकना ना?
नहीं, एतिकाफ मतलब being exclusive, like exclusively इबादत के लिए अपना ये करना. Etikaf word is there in the Quran also, and it is used at two places with Ibrahim alayhi salam, when Ibrahim alayhi salam says that akifina, that they are doing etikaf for the idols. And in Makkah also, when Allah Ta'ala is in Surah Baqarah, it is there ta'ifina wal akifina. So that akifin is the part of the etikaf, that people are exclusively going for worship of Allah in the masjid. And they would just come out for basic needs or for washroom or something like that. And otherwise, they are exclusively devoted their time to the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you're doing etikaf, then you have devoted yourself for this last 10 days, and you're not going to be involved in a lot of worldly activities. And that would ensure that you are going to get the Laylatul Qadr in any which ways. So let Allah Ta'ala accept our ibadat, and let him make it easy for us to get the Laylatul Qadr, inshallah.
Ordinary days also we are doing the niyat, no? Nawaitu sunnat al-i'tikaf.
Yeah, so basically it is your niya which is important, and your action also. It is not just niya, it is action also. But here the sunnah of the Prophet was that he used to do etikaf, which means that he used to seclude himself in the masjid in the last 10 days. And initially, when it was not clear when the Laylatul Qadr is there, he used to do it he has done it in the first part also, and the second part also. But in the last, then he has commanded us that you search for it in the last 10 days, and specifically the odd nights. But when you are in etikaf, you are in the masjid exclusively and secluded for the worship. So there you definitely get it. But otherwise also, you can at your homes also, you can try and see that the odd nights at least you try and do as much ibadah as is comfortable for you.
Correct. This mouth is masculine and hayat is feminine. No?
Yes. So if your mouth, if you see some mouth, it was وَيَتَمَنَّوْنَ who,
Hmm.
right? And akhirah was feminine. Ta.
They have occurred equal number of times
Yeah.
in the Quran.
Yeah. Correct. Those are counts, and they are not really important for our iman or for our. The Quran has come for the guidance and warning.
Otherwise, the Aidihim, which is plural of yadun,
Yes.
so because of many people's hand, so it is Aidihim. Otherwise,
Yes.
sometimes yadun aida.
Yes, that's right. It is because of many. Correct. Because of many people, yada is two hands, and aidin is many hands. Because of the many hands, whatever they have sent for, because Allah Ta'ala is talking to not one person there, Allah Ta'ala is talking to the whole community, and that's why Allah Ta'ala is using the plural form. Right.
In that verse also, because it is two part of the body, it should be feminine.
Yes, that is also feminine. Correct. We discussed that last time. The dual parts in the body are feminine, like ears, eyes, and hands and legs. Whatever is two is feminine, and whatever is one is masculine.
Okay.
Right. So, inshallah, if there are no further questions, then we can inshallah conclude for today, and then we will be meeting after the Ramadan. Because inshallah, I intend to go for the itikaf, so we'll not be able to keep the next Sunday session. So, inshallah,
Next
after
even the 1st May also, na, will be. Two Sundays will be there.
yes, 2 Sundays will be there. So 2 Sundays will not.
24th and 1st May.
Correct. So you all also devote as much time as possible to reading Quran, learning Quran, trying to go through the tafsir, because tafsir is what is actually the real crux of the thing. And only if you know the Shan-e Nuzul, then you know the real purpose of those ayat, and then the implementation of it. What we normally do is just try to read the translation, and sometimes in translation the background is missed, or the reason for revelation is missed, and because of that our understanding could get a little different from just reading a translation versus knowing the background of it also. So that is also important. So the tafsir will give us everything, and if you have time, then you can go through the tafsir of Ibn Kasir, which is a very detailed tafsir. That will give us the whole perspective of the ayat also. But if you don't have that much time, at least go for the routine translation. And now with you all have been done so much of grammar, a lot of word to words are also available, Qurans which you can use. Or I have already told you the corpus Quran is there, which is what you can use for the analysis of the words if you're finding some words difficult. There is another site which is verse by verse study of the Quran. So you can take that, and there every ayat has a lesson given there of what we have to take a lesson from that. So you can take that also, and that will also inshallah help you. So now there is no dearth of material, there is no dearth of anything for learning. Whatever area you feel you're weak, now you have everything available online, and you can just improve yourself. If you feel that your recitation is not proper, just try to listen to a qari and then recite it. So what you can do is listen to a qari and try to look at the masaf at the same time. And if you have the meaning also coming, then it becomes even more easier and even more enjoying. So for that, if you want, if you are comfortable with Mishri Al-Fasi, then I Recite, there is a YouTube channel by I Recite. So you can see that. And the advantage of YouTube would be that you can increase or reduce the speed as per your requirement. So if you are going to be reading slowly, then you can reduce the speed to as much as you want, and you can increase the speed also to as much as you want. So it is I Recite, where you can do it with the surahs, or if you are tuned to the paras or juz, then you can use there is again a YouTube channel where they have half an hour for one juz. So if you want to finish a juz in half an hour, then you can recite or listen to it and read it at the same time, so that you are able to finish it in half. If you are sometimes hard pressed with time and you feel that you're not able to finish the juz, you can use these technological advancements for making your recitation better, or avoiding the mistakes. Sometimes while reciting fast we are making mistakes, so you can listen to it at the same time, just recite also, look at your masaf and keep listening and looking at those words, so that you don't, because what happens is when you want to finish too much of Quran, then you reading fast and you could make mistakes with the zabar zair and things like that. So that shouldn't happen. We should try and see that there as less mistakes as possible. So you can listen to the recitation and also see the meanings. So I Recite has got the English meanings also along with it. That will be helpful. They have the full Quran there with all paras, so you can just type that and I Recite, I and Recite as like a single word, and search it on on YouTube, and you will get that. So there are many other ways. There are so many translations also available, and so many tafsir also available online. So just try and dedicate your time as much as possible to learning as much as possible, and trying to get closer to Allah as much as possible. And sort of, whatever you're doing is like, we have to know that we are presenting it to Allah. Whatever ibadah that we are doing, we are presenting it to Allah. So try to do it in as good way as possible. So it is like, we know that we are talking to the King of the kings and the King of all the worlds, right? So if we are called to any important person in the world, we try to become very cautious and try to do everything nicely and rightly. But sometimes with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we take things for granted. We shouldn't be doing that. We should try and see that we are doing the best for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right. So inshallah, with that, we would end, and inshallah 2 Sundays we'll not be having the session. We'll having it after that, inshallah.
Okay, thank you.